Welcome back, Smart Path Academy detectives. Let's jump right in and crack the code of the Cambridge Checkpoint exam. Today's explainer is all about mastering skill 43, apostrophes and direct speech punctuation. So, want to guarantee some incredibly easy marks on your next checkpoint exam? Of course you do. Look, way too many students leave points on the table over the absolute simplest grammar rules, just because they're rushing. But if we treat punctuation marks like missing clues at a crime scene, you can literally secure those precious paper 1 points in seconds. Today, we're going to train you to be the ultimate exam detective. Let's start with Section 1, Master the Core Rules, your detective toolkit. All right, before we hit the crime scenes, we need our toolkit. Think of these as the gadgets you'll use to fix missing letters or trap spoken words. First up, the apostrophe for possession. This little guy just shows that something belongs to someone, like a bird song. Next is the apostrophe for contraction. This is basically a neon sign pointing out missing letters, like when we squeeze do not into don't. Then we have direct speech, which is really just a formal way of saying the exact spoken words. And finally, speech marks, those quotation marks that act like a fence around that speech. Now, here is where so many people get tripped up. It's the ultimate exam trap. It's the battle of the its. When you see its with an apostrophe, that is your contraction. It strictly always means it is or it has, period. But its with absolutely no apostrophe, that's possession. It means belonging to it. Think of a dog wagging its tail. If you toss an apostrophe in there, you're literally saying a dog wagging it is tail, which sounds completely ridiculous, right? The examiners love to test this, so engrave this rule in your brain. Okay, what about when characters start talking? The absolute golden rule here is that your punctuation marks must be locked safely inside the speech marks. Listen to this correct example. Hello, he said. The comma is tucked right inside, perfectly hugged by the closing speech mark. But in the avoidable example, the comma is left out in the cold. You've got to avoid that. Cambridge wants precision, so keep your clues securely inside the box. Moving on to Section 2, Step-by-Step Detective Work. So how do we actually do this under pressure? Well, by following 3 exact steps, you can systematically crack any messy, unpunctuated sentence without ever having to guess. Step 1, isolate the exact words coming out of the character's mouth. Step 2, put your speech marks right around those words. And step 3, this is your final security check. Make sure your commas, question marks, or exclamation points are securely trapped inside those marks. Let's step up to a crime scene. Here's a raw, completely unpunctuated clue straight from a fisherman's beach scene. Wow, what a huge turtle, he whispered. Yikes, it's a total mess. How on earth do we apply our 3 steps to fix this? Boom! By applying our steps, we get this beautifully corrected sentence. We capitalize the wow, because, well, it's the start of the actual speech. Then we lock both the exclamation point and the comma inside the speech marks, and just like that, we've secured the mark. The evidence is locked down. Remember, punctuation shouldn't ever just float around randomly. Every single mark is placed there deliberately. Let's test those skills in Section 3, Checkpoint Practice Challenge. Now it is your turn to face a real puzzle. Listen to this dawn chorus of birds. Did you see the lark? Asked Omar. Yes, replied Hannah. It flew above the roof. This right here is a classic Paper 1 challenge. We've got multiple people speaking in one continuous line. So where exactly do our speech mark clues belong in this traffic jam of words? Check this out. We carefully boxed in Omar's exact question and then Hannah's exact reply, keeping the question marks and commas safely tucked inside. Did you see the lark is wrapped up nicely all on its own. Then Hannah's response is actually split in 2. Yes is the first part, and it flew above the roof is the second. The absolutely crucial takeaway here? You must separate the speakers and punctuate their exact phrases individually. Never, ever group 2 different speakers into the same set of speech marks. That is a massive trap. Let's shift gears back to our other toolkit item for a second. Listen to this. The teacher's bag was beside the door, but its strap was broken. We've got a classic possession puzzle on our hands. Where exactly does the missing apostrophe go? There it is. The apostrophe goes right in teachers, because we're showing possession of the bag. It's the bag belonging to that one specific teacher. But look super closely at the second half of that sentence. But its strap was broken. Notice how we left its strap completely alone? And this brilliantly illustrates why we left it alone. Its strap means the strap belonging to the bag. It's showing possession for an object, so no contraction is needed. Once again, if you forced an apostrophe in there, you'd be writing, but it is strap was broken. And bam, there goes your point.
Which brings us to section 4, beating the mark scheme.
Guys, this is the harsh reality of the exam room. The mark scheme logic dictates that marks are only awarded for correctly placed apostrophes and exact, precise speech punctuation. No extra irrelevant marks are accepted. The name of the game here is accuracy. Cambridge Checkpoint rewards absolute precision, not just trying your best and sprinkling commas everywhere hoping one lands right. If you add an extra apostrophe where it doesn't belong, you lose the mark, even if you got the first one perfectly right.
You really want to avoid these common teacher feedback codes on your practice papers. I'm talking about traps like adding irrelevant details, which slaps you with an IR code, or copying quotes that are way too long, earning you a QL. When the exam asks you to punctuate or hunt down specific text evidence, you need to zero in on the exact detail. Don't be vague, don't be general. Give them exactly what they asked for, nothing more, nothing less.
Now, why am I emphasizing this so heavily? Look at that number, 2. This exact grammar puzzle appeared perfectly in questions 17 and 18 of past April and October Paper 1 exams. That means there are 2 incredibly easy marks just sitting right there on the paper waiting for you, proving exactly how vital this skill is. And let me tell you, in Cambridge exams, 2 marks can literally be the difference that bumps you up to the next grade level. All right, let's bring it all home in section 5, recap and final challenge. Let's take a quick mental snapshot of these 4 Cambridge-style habits. First, accuracy. Always place your punctuation inside the quotes. Second, evidence. Use exact clues straight from the text. Third, own words. Only do this when they specifically ask you to. And finally, no irrelevant detail. Don't tick too many boxes or write extra rambling sentences. If you lock these habits down, you're going to confidently navigate any reading or writing test they throw your way. Okay, here is your final challenge, my Smart Path Academy detectives. Can you accurately punctuate this train station clue on your own before your next exam? Listen closely. The train glided out of the station, he whispered, "Are we there yet?" Think about where those speech marks need to go, where your capital letters belong, and exactly where that question mark sits. So grab a pen, give it a shot, and ask yourself, are you going to leave those easy marks sitting on the table, or are you ready to claim them? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.